Mechanic charged with attempted murder. A 25-year-old man from Clarendon has been charged with attempted murder after he is accused of robbing a businessman on July 23, 2023. Charged is Garnet Graham, a mechanic of Thorthall District, Frankfield in the parish. He was subsequently charged with attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, possession of prohibited firearm and unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 10:16 p.m., the complainant was at her workplace along with a customer when Graham and 4 other men armed with handguns allegedly entered the establishment and demanded money from the complainant. When their demands were not met, one of the men reportedly opened gunfire hitting the complainant to the left side of her head and then allegedly proceeded to rob the customer. However, on Friday, March 8, an operation was carried out in the Thorthall District, Frankfield in the parish, and a premises was searched where Graham was apprehended. Graham is to appear before the Maypen Parish Court on Thursday, March 14. ExOP charged for a 2018 fatal shooting of family member, stated in the com. A police constable who was accused of shooting one of his family members in 2018 has since been charged with murder, according to the Independent Commission of Investigations in the com. In a press release on Tuesday, revealed that Kevin Smalling was charged with the off-duty shooting of Lentin Smalling on March 8. He was also charged for the offense of illegal possession of a firearm. The charges came following an investigation by Indicom. The incident reportedly occurred on December 2, 2018 in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. However, Linton succumbed to his injuries on December 13, 2018. According to the Commission, Smalling resigned from the Jamaica Constabulary Force in 2020 and migrated to the United States of America. Smalling was then placed before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday, March 11, 2024. The former JCF member was remanded into custody by the parish judge. He will return to court on Tuesday, March 19, when a bail application will be heard. Income tax threshold moved to 1.7 million, stated Clark. Government has announced an increase in the income tax threshold from 1.5 million to 1.7 million effective April 1. This will see the government giving up $9 billion in revenue as a result. Minister of Finance and Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark made the announcement Tuesday as he opened the 2024-2025 budget debate at Garden House. This means pay workers will not pay income tax on the first 1.7 million that they earn. Clark indicated that the government will not be able to move the threshold higher as at this time because it would not be giving up too much revenue, which could affect economic stability. In a recent interview with reporters, economist Dr. Damian King expressed his support for an increase in the income tax threshold to 2.2 million, which he said would restore the purchasing power of income earners to 2016 levels when the threshold had been increased to 1.5 million. In the meantime, Clark also said that for a 7th year, Jamaica will face no new taxes. Government abolishes requirement for guarantors for students' loans, stated Clark. Jamaicans seeking to access tertiary-level education will no longer need to have a guarantor in order to secure a loan from the government-run Students' Loan Bureau, effective April 1. Finance and Public Service Minister Dr. Nigel Clark made the announcement of the abolishment of the decade-old requirement on Tuesday as he opened the 2024-2025 budget debate in the House of Representatives. The SLB provides financing for over 4,000 students seeking to access tertiary education annually. Clark reminded that in the 2022-2023 budget, the government removed the requirement for guarantors to be provided for applicants who are wards of the state. Within 12 months of that policy change, the number of wards of the state applying for a student loan increased by 100% from 46 to 98, he stated. He also highlighted that in 2023, the government lifted the requirement for guarantors for individuals on the Program of Advanced Through Health and Education path. Clark shared that within 12 months, the beneficiaries of students' loans who are on path jumped from 92 in the previous year to 547, an increase of 185%. In the face of this staggering evidence as to the inhibiting effect of the requirement of a guarantor, how do we keep it? Clark asked rhetorically. The finance minister shared a story of a constituent who worked in an ice cream shop and whose son graduated from Jose Marti High School in 2019 with 7 subjects. He was desirous of attending university, but could not do so because his mother was not earning enough to stand as his guarantor. Both Cheryl and Malik were in the gallery at Garden House for Clark's budget presentation on Tuesday when he turned to them and said, "I want to be the first to say to them live and direct that come April 1st, there will be no guarantors required for student loans." Clark said under this policy, Malik will be the first in his family, the son of an ice cream shop customer service representative, to go to university because of the policy change that I'm talking about today. He argued that the requirement for a guarantor for a student loan was regressive as it discriminates against low-income families.
Madam Speaker, last year we lifted the requirement for guarantors for persons on path. For the last 12 months, the beneficiaries accessing student loan who are on path jumped from 192 the previous year to 547, and the year is not done yet. 185% increase. Jesus. Madam Speaker, in the face of this staggering evidence as to the inhibiting effect of the requirement of a guarantor, how do we keep it? Cheryl is here, Madam Speaker, her son Malik, who graduated from Hustle Martin in 2019. I want to be the first to say to them live and direct that come April 1st, there will be no guarantors required for student loan. All right, what is more, Madam Speaker, is that Malik, along with 4,199 other beneficiaries, will qualify for a free grant of $60,000 on loan approval. 4,200 grants of $60,000 each will be available to low-income applicants of the Student Loan Bureau. Since inception, the Student Loan Bureau uses a very tiny fraction of repayments to make provisions for loss of life of the borrower. And this fund was actually assessed and found to have more than $1 billion in excess of what it needs to have to ensure the risk that it has. With this new guarantor policy, we'll move this $1 billion excess from the life insurance reserve, which you don't need in that position, into a new guarantor reserve fund to back this new policy. Everybody can say remove guarantor. When we do it, Madam Speaker, we do it in a sustainable way. We're not doing it for no popularity contest. We're doing it to benefit the people, but we're doing it in a way that the taxpayer is also protected.
Initiatives to protect students and teachers in schools. The Ministry of Education and Youth is taking significant steps to ensure the safety and security of students and staff in schools across Jamaica, particularly in the era of natural disasters such as hurricanes and flash floods. Portfolio Minister Favor Williams provided details in an address during the Caribbean Safe School Initiative virtual pre-ministerial forum on Tuesday, March 12. I'm happy to report that we have well-developed systems, policies and guidelines during these natural disasters for students, teachers and parents, and so there is also a level of obedience to these policies and directives that we have, Williams stated. Additionally, she indicated that the ministry has engaged architectural students from a tertiary institution to assess the structural integrity of school buildings. This assessment categorized buildings as fair, good, or unsatisfactory. Williams noted that the ministry is now focused on improving the structural integrity of schools in the unsatisfactory category, ensuring safer learning environments for students. She also highlighted that there is a safety and security entity within the education sector that is responsible for managing various threats, including bomb threats. We have to ensure that all students are safe and secure on the school compound, but not only that, we've extended it to look at their safety and security while they're traversing the roadways to school and back home, Williams explained. We've done studies that we're using to guide many of the policies that we have, the directives and guidelines that we put out, and we know that transportation ranks high in terms of just safety and security measures that we need to have in place for our students, she added. In the meantime, she pointed out that the ministry is making efforts in installing cameras, fencing, metal detectors, and implement random searches within schools. Moreover, the education sector has integrated key professionals such as deans of disciplines, guidance counselors, school nurses, and social workers into a unified unit within the schools and effectively intervene on behalf of students. The CSSI aim in advanced safety in Caribbean schools is in the regional mechanism for replicating the nexus between education and resilience and for ensuring coordination in the region. The forum is a flagship blended meeting of ministers of education from across the region, disaster risk reduction practitioners, and international and regional stakeholders to explore and identify policy opportunities and gaps for the education sector resilience and their regional coordination. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.